I think this week highlights the virtues of Bitcoin as much as it exposes the fragility of the crypto ecosystem. Bitcoin's a commodity you can self-custody without an issuer. The vast majority of all the crypto tokens out there are unregistered securities trading on unregulated exchanges, and they're fairly centralized. And so what could go wrong? Well, we saw what could go wrong if a centralized token trading on an unregistered exchange blows up this week. I think that the Bitcoiners have been predicting this for a long time. Speaking for all the Bitcoiners, we feel like we're trapped in a dysfunctional relationship with crypto and we want out. Look, I think the industry needs to grow up and the regulators are coming into this space. And what the world wants is it wants digital assets and digital commodities and digital securities, but there's no way to register a digital security. There's no clear guideline or roadmap for designating a digital commodity. The world wants $1 trillion of digital currency in the form of the USD stablecoin. And so I think that the regulatory intervention of late has been all negative, like enforcement, but the marketplace is waiting for the regulators to say, this is how you register a digital currency, this is how you register a digital security or a digital commodity. And instead of saying all the crypto exchanges should register, we need to get the crypto exchanges registered because the future of the industry is registered digital assets trading on regulated exchanges where everyone has the investor protections they need and the investors in general understand the difference between Bitcoin and a stable coin and a security token. There's a regressive regulation, which is to say you can't really do anything, and that'll contract the industry. Bitcoin will be the winner because Bitcoin is a digital commodity and it's the least controversial of everything. But there's a progressive regulation which says this is a path to register a digital security, a digital currency, a digital token, and your digital exchange. If there is a progressive regulation, then I think you won't see 20,000 tokens, you'll see a handful, dozens, but they'll be properly registered tokens. The industry is going to grow much more rapidly. And ultimately, we're moving from the entrepreneurial stage where this was a Wild West offshore where anything goes, to an institutional digital asset stage where the big players like Bank of America and Fidelity and BlackRock and the Goldman Sachs and JP Morgans are going to enter this space, and we're all just going to grow up and the world is going to benefit from that.
So there's Saylor on why, although this is a setback for the crypto space and more stringent regulation is desperately needed, his resolve in Bitcoin and his Bitcoin strategy remains unchanged. Saylor calls for the entire industry to grow up and the need for regulators to come into the space. Speaking of, the SEC Chairman Gary Gensler also spoke on the state of the crypto markets and the FTX situation and how he plans on bringing regulation to the space.
When you mix together a bunch of customer money, non-disclosure, and leverage, borrowing against it, and inside these companies trading, investors get hurt. And I think just looking at what we see in the press, if I can stay with that, just Andrew, this story has been going on for many months. You remember the collapse of Terra Luna and a bunch of crypto lending platforms. Well, it looks like in the last few days, this is all interconnected. This is a very interconnected world in crypto, with a few concentrated players at the middle, and one of those concentrated players had the toxic combinations of lack of disclosure, customer money, a lot of leverage, meaning borrowing, and then trying to invest with that. And then when markets turned on them, it appears that a lot of customers lost money, and that's where our mission is about those customers. I think that investors need better protection in this space, but I would say this is a field that's significantly non-compliant, but it's got regulation, and those regulations are often very clear. And we have multiple paths. And one path is working with those crypto exchanges, crypto lending platforms, and to get them properly registered. And why that matters is that's so the public's protected. But we have another path, which is enforcement. We've brought between my predecessor and the teams now at the SEC, at least 100 actions in this case. And we've been very clear in these various enforcement actions. And we had a big win even this week on a crypto token called Library, where a court clearly said, you've been on fair notice. And yes, this is a securities under the securities law. Look, the runway is running out. I mean, the American public and investors around the globe are getting hurt by a field that says they put a lot of fancy talk around it, Andrew, and the technology is interesting. And I taught it at MIT, and I think that there is some innovations here, but we still need investor protection. And so what I would say is come in and talk to us. You've heard that before. The runway is getting shorter, and the laws are clear, and it's pretty rich for me when I think about it. Look, there's also celebrities. You talked about celebrities. There's celebrity CEOs in this space as well, celebrity crypto entrepreneurs. And so the public can fall prey to their promotions, their marketing, and the like. And it's really important. Our third path is also investor education. Going on a show like this is also to say to the public, beware, this is highly speculative. It is regulated, but without prejudging any one circumstance, largely non-compliant. I think we've been clear in these meetings, and you can look at my calendar's public, many meetings with folks in this industry. Very clear in these meetings, same message to the public, same message to them, that non-compliance is not going to work. The public's going to be hurt, but also we're going to continue on these dual paths. And if we need to, going to be the cop on the beat, going into court, putting the facts and the law in front of judges.